If you saw dozens of cats gathering every day in the same place, what would you think? Coincidence? Now imagine discovering that this place is exactly where a person died. Have you ever experienced this? Have you noticed your own cat staring intently at an empty corner of the house, as if seeing something you can't see? What you are about to discover may completely surprise you and forever change your view of the world of felines. Because this is not just another story about pets and strange behaviors. This is a true story that challenges everything we think we know about the connection between our pets and dimensions that our human minds can barely comprehend. Margaret Wilson was 73 years old when she peacefully passed away in her sleep at her home in London. A kind lady who dedicated her entire life to caring for the neighborhood's stray cats, always leaving food and water in her backyard. For more than 2 decades, she was known as the Cat Lady. That special person every neighborhood has. Someone who understands the silent language of cats in an almost supernatural way. But what happened 3 days after her funeral left the entire community in shock. Stay with me until the end, because what you are about to discover will give you chills and perhaps explain some mysterious behaviors you have witnessed with your own pet. On the first morning after Margaret's burial, the neighbor next door, Sarah, noticed something unusual while having her coffee. A black cat was sitting exactly where the window of the late lady's bedroom used to be. Nothing unusual, she thought. After all, cats always frequented that yard. But when other felines began to appear, one by one, all positioning themselves at the same specific spot, Sarah felt a chill she couldn't explain. Have you noticed how cats have this inexplicable ability to sense energies that we humans simply do not detect? They seem to see through invisible veils, picking up frequencies and presences that our limited perception cannot reach. And what happened on that property in the following weeks defied any logical or scientific explanation. Over the next few days, the number of cats in Margaret's yard only increased. They were not just the cats she used to feed. They were cats from all over the neighborhood, some that residents had never seen before, arriving from distant streets as if they had received some kind of silent and mysterious call. They gathered always at the same time, remained silent for hours and then dispersed, only to return the next day. The most chilling part of all? Security cameras captured exactly where these felines positioned themselves, in a perfect circle around the exact spot where Margaret's bed had been. As if they knew, as if they were waiting for her, or perhaps in some inexplicable way, still able to feel her spiritual presence in that space. Animal behavior specialists were called, paranormal investigators came to the site, and even scientists tried to find a rational explanation for this extraordinary phenomenon. But the more they investigated, the more questions arose and the fewer conventional answers made sense. What was really happening in that house? Why were creatures so independent and territorial, behaving in such a coordinated and mysterious way? And most importantly, what does this reveal about our pets' ability to perceive dimensions of reality that we don't even imagine exist? What was really happening in that house? Why were such independent and territorial creatures behaving in such a coordinated and mysterious way? And most importantly, what does this reveal about our pets' ability to perceive dimensions of reality that we don't even imagine exist? While you reflect on these questions, I need to tell you something important. If this topic makes sense to you, leave in the comments what touched you the most so far. Have you ever experienced something similar with your pet? Have you witnessed inexplicable behaviors that made you question whether they really see more than we do? Because, look, every story you share here in the comments not only enriches our community, but also helps others who have gone through similar experiences feel less alone. Your participation here is what makes this channel grow and reach more people with this kind of content that, let's be honest, is not easy to find out there. When you like the video, you're telling YouTube that more people need to see these fascinating stories. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, this is the perfect moment, because I have many more cases like this to share with you. Real stories that will make you question everything you thought you knew about our four-legged companions. You know what impresses me most about Margaret's story? It's that the investigators discovered something disturbing when they started interviewing the oldest neighbors. Apparently, this collective behavior of the cats was not the first time it had happened in that region. There are records of similar occurrences dating back decades, always involving people who had a special connection with animals, and always at the exact moment of their passing. Sarah, the neighbor who first noticed the phenomenon, revealed something that made my blood run cold when I heard it for the first time. She said that on the night before Margaret's death, her own cat, who had never shown any special interest in the lady, spent hours meowing in the direction of her house as if trying to warn about something, as if it knew something was about to happen. And here we begin to enter even more mysterious territory, because what you are about to discover now about the cat's ability to foresee things will challenge everything conventional science tries to explain. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because the hidden truth behind this story goes far beyond what the neighbors imagined. Margaret Wilson was not just an ordinary lady who fed cats. Over the years, she had developed an inexplicable connection with these animals that completely transformed the energetic dynamic of that property. During the investigations, it was discovered that Margaret kept detailed records of every feline that visited her yard. More than 40 different cats passed through regularly, each with specific times, as if they followed an invisible schedule only they understood. This routine had been established for more than 2 decades, creating a profound energetic impact in that space. What really shook the investigators' minds was discovering that Margaret had confided to her niece, just a week before she died, that she felt as if the cats were preparing for something. She said she had noticed subtle changes in their behavior. They arrived earlier, stayed longer, and watched her with a different intensity, almost melancholic. 3 days after the funeral, the phenomenon began that no one could explain rationally. First, 5 cats appeared, then 10, 15, and within a week, there were more than 20 felines gathered simultaneously in the yard. They came from impressive distances. Some residents reported recognizing cats from neighborhoods kilometers away, animals that had never been seen in that region before. The most disturbing revelations came when the researchers installed monitoring equipment. The cats arrived exactly at 3:30 p.m., the time Margaret usually served their first meal of the day. They remained in absolute silence for approximately 2 hours, arranged in a circular formation, and then gradually dispersed, as if performing an ancient ritual that transcends our human understanding. This journey of discoveries was just beginning, because the behavior of these felines would reveal even more impressive backstage details about the connection between dimensions that our rational mindset simply refuses to accept. Comment below. That really gives me chills. If you also feel there is much more to this story than we can see at first glance. This journey of discoveries was just beginning, because the behavior of these felines would reveal even more impressive behind-the-scenes details about the connection between dimensions that our rational mindset simply refuses to accept. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject, because what happened in the following weeks challenged any known logic and forced even the most resistant skeptics to question their own beliefs about reality. For 3 consecutive weeks, the neighbors watched in disbelief a ritual that seemed orchestrated by a higher intelligence. The cats not only arrived at the same time, they positioned themselves strategically at specific points in the yard, forming a perfect circle around an area that corresponded exactly to the spot where Margaret's bed was inside the house. How could they know that? How could creatures that had never entered that room locate with such precision the place where she used to sleep? The transformation in the behavior of these independent animals was impressive. Cats that normally avoided each other or fought over territory now lived in absolute harmony, as if a collective decision had been made on a level of consciousness that transcends our understanding. They remained motionless for hours, some with their eyes closed, others staring intensely at the empty bedroom window, as if they were waiting for something. or someone. Sarah began documenting these encounters with photographs and videos, and the impact of the images was devastating. The revelations captured by the lenses showed something that shook the deep structures of her worldview. Some cats seemed to be reacting to invisible stimuli, moving their heads as if following something moving, purring softly toward the void, as if they were interacting with a presence only they could perceive. The hidden truth behind this phenomenon was about to reveal itself in an even more disturbing way, because the behind the scenes of this story holds secrets far beyond what any scientific investigation could foresee. Write this down. Cats know more if you also believe that these animals possess a perception that goes far beyond our five senses. The hidden truth behind this phenomenon was about to be revealed in an even more disturbing way, because the backstage of this story holds secrets that go far beyond what any scientific investigation could foresee. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject, because before you think this is pure fantasy, let's look at the scientific facts that can completely change your mindset about what is really happening here. Cats have senses up to 40 times sharper than ours, and this is no exaggeration. It is pure and documented science. While we humans detect sound frequencies between 20 Hz and 20,000 Hz, felines pick up sounds of up to 65,000 Hz. This means they literally hear dimensions of reality that are completely silent to us. Imagine how many conversations, whispers, and energetic manifestations are happening around us at this very moment. But our limited perception simply cannot access this information. The impact of this revelation is even more impressive when we consider feline vision. They see ultraviolet light spectrums that are totally invisible to our eyes, detect movements in lighting conditions that would leave us completely blind, and have a focusing ability that allows them to identify details that would go unnoticed by our visual perception. But the true transformation in our understanding comes when we analyze the sense of smell of these animals. With more than 200 million olfactory receptors, compared to our mere 5 million, cats literally sniff out information that tells complete stories about people, places, and even emotional states. They detect chemical changes in the environment that indicate the presence of diseases, hormonal changes, and believe it or not, even energetic changes that precede important events. This scientific journey leads us to a crucial decision. Are we drastically underestimating these animals' ability to perceive realities parallel to our conscious experience? Comment below. They see more than us. If you also believe that science is only beginning to discover the true sensory potential of our felines. This scientific journey leads us to a crucial decision. Are we drastically underestimating these animals' ability to perceive realities parallel to our conscious experience? Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject because what makes this case even more intriguing are the documented evidences that completely transformed the investigators' mindset. We are not talking about vague reports or subjective impressions. We have concrete proof, recorded in high definition, that challenges any conventional explanation. The neighborhood security cameras captured something that shook the deepest structures of rational logic. The cats always arrived at the same time, 3:30 p.m., exactly when Margaret used to serve their first meal of the day. Coincidence? The experts who analyzed these recordings were categorical. Definitely not. The impact of these revelations goes far beyond what any researcher was prepared to face. For 18 consecutive days, without a single failure, more than 20 cats gathered at the same place, at the same time, with a precision that would make the most sophisticated clocks in the world envious. They came from different directions, some walking considerable distances, but all converging on that specific point as if following an invisible schedule recorded in their collective consciousness. The recordings showed something even more disturbing. Some cats arrived up to 15 minutes before the established time and waited patiently, as if anticipating the exact moment when something important would happen. Others came running, as if they had received an urgent call that only they could hear. The hidden truth behind this evidence was about to reveal even more impressive backstage details because the investigators discovered that this coordinated behavior had patterns that defy everything we know about animal intelligence and energetic connections. Write this down. There is something bigger here. If you also feel that these evidences point to a reality much more complex than we imagine. The hidden truth behind this evidence was about to reveal even more impressive behind-the-scenes details because investigators discovered that this coordinated behavior had patterns that challenge everything we know about animal intelligence and energetic connections. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject because this is not an isolated case that appeared out of nowhere. There is a global journey of discoveries that is transforming our mindset about the ability of felines to perceive dimensions that our human consciousness simply cannot reach. In Japan, they documented the extraordinary case of a cat that became known as the feline hachiko. Just like the famous dog who waited for his owner at the train station, this cat continued visiting his owner's grave daily for more than 5 years, regardless of weather conditions or changes in the surrounding environment. The impact of this inexplicable loyalty shook the deep structures of Japanese society, which began to see this behavior as a bridge between worlds. In England, even more disturbing revelations came to light when researchers documented multiple cases of cats that continued visiting cemeteries for years after their owners' deaths. These animals walked impressive distances, crossed entire cities, navigated completely unknown terrains, but always found exactly the right spot where their humans were buried. And here in Brazil, we have reports that go far beyond what any rational decision could explain. Cats that sense invisible presences, that behave strangely in houses where people have died, that demonstrate knowledge about events that have not yet happened. The shift in perception of these phenomena is revealing behind-the-scenes aspects of a reality much more complex than our traditional science is willing to admit. These cases are connected by a common thread that challenges our conventional understanding of life, death, and animal consciousness. Comment below. This is real if you also believe that these reports from around the world reveal something much greater about the nature of the connection between humans and felines. These cases are connected by a common thread that challenges our conventional understanding of life, death, and animal consciousness. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject because when behavioral veterinarians and paranormal researchers start agreeing on something, you know we are facing revelations that could completely transform our mindset about reality. These professionals, coming from traditionally opposing fields, have reached a unanimous decision. Cats have a unique sensitivity to detect energies and presences that transcend our limited perception. Dr. Rupert Sheldrake, a respected biologist from Cambridge, has dedicated his career to documenting cases where animals anticipate events and detect invisible presences. The impact of his research is revolutionizing our understanding of animal consciousness because the data he has collected over decades points to a hidden truth that mainstream science has resisted accepting. Sheldrake documents felines that sense earthquakes hours before seismographs detect any activity, cats that show specific behaviors days before their owners receive serious medical diagnoses, and impressive cases of animals reacting to presences that scientific instruments cannot measure. This journey of discoveries is revealing the behind-the-scenes of a reality where consciousness operates on frequencies much broader than our materialistic mindset can comprehend. The transformation in scientific thinking is happening because serious researchers can no longer ignore the consistency of these phenomena. Veterinarians report precognitive behaviors in clinics, while paranormal experts find patterns that repeat globally, suggesting there is an energetic communication network connecting these animals to dimensions of existence that we are only beginning to explore. These discoveries are about to take us even further in understanding what really happened in Margaret's backyard. Comment here. Science is discovering if you also believe we are only scratching the surface of what our pets can truly perceive. These findings are about to take us even further in understanding what really happened in Margaret's backyard. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject because There is a fascinating theory that can explain this entire extraordinary journey we are witnessing. The hidden truth behind these phenomena may be related to the concept of energy imprints, an idea that is transforming our mindset about how places absorb and preserve the energies of the people who lived there. Margaret Wilson not only lived in that house, she lived there for 45 uninterrupted years, creating a deep energetic bond that permeated every corner of that space. For nearly half a century, her emotions, routines, thoughts, and especially her love for cats were literally absorbed by the walls, the air, the very essence of that environment. The impact of this theory goes far beyond what our traditional science is willing to accept. But researchers specialized in energy fields document cases where places maintain vibrational records of significant events and people. It is as if the house had become an extension of Margaret herself, keeping her energetic signature even after her physical departure. The cats, with that extraordinary sensitivity we have already explored, can still feel this energetic presence with impressive clarity. For them, Margaret did not completely leave. She remains there, recorded in the frequencies that only their heightened perceptions can detect. This decision to gather in that specific place reveals behind-the-scenes aspects of a reality where energy and consciousness operate in dimensions that transcend our linear understanding of life and death. The transformation in our perception of this phenomenon is just beginning, because what happened in the following weeks will challenge our beliefs about the continuity of consciousness even more deeply. Comment below, energy really stays, if you also believe that places can hold imprints of the people who lived there intensely. The transformation in our perception of this phenomenon is just beginning, because what happened in the following weeks will challenge even more deeply our beliefs about the continuity of consciousness. Now, I want to go even deeper into this subject, because after 2 months of this extraordinary daily ritual, something touching happened that affected the deepest structures of everyone involved in this journey. Margaret's family, who had been watching this inexplicable phenomenon from a distance, made an emotionally charged decision that would reveal even more impressive behind-the-scenes aspects of this energetic connection. They decided to install a small bronze plaque in the garden in honor of Margaret, engraved with a simple message. For Margaret Wilson, who loved all the cats in this neighborhood, her love lives on here. The impact of this tribute on the energetic dynamics of the place would be much greater than anyone could anticipate. The day after the plaque was installed, something happened that completely transformed the mindset of all observers about what was really going on there. The cats appeared for the last time. More than 20 felines gathered in the usual circle, but this time their behavior was different. They stayed only a few minutes in absolute silence, as if paying a final farewell, a silent acknowledgement that some kind of cycle had been completed. And then, gradually, they dispersed and never returned. It was not a gradual abandonment over weeks. It was a definitive, coordinated departure, as if they had collectively understood that their mission there had come to an end. The hidden truth behind this synchronized farewell reveals aspects of animal consciousness that challenge everything we thought we knew about intelligence, emotion, and spiritual connection. This surprising conclusion was about to pave the way for even deeper revelations about what really happens when energetic bonds reach their point of resolution. Comment below, they knew it was time, if you also believe that this coordinated farewell reveals a collective intelligence that goes far beyond our understanding. This surprising conclusion was about to pave the way for even deeper revelations about what really happens when energetic bonds reach their point of resolution. Now I want to go even deeper into this subject because this extraordinary case forces us to question fundamental truths about our reality. Do our pets really see a world that we cannot? Is there much more between heaven and earth than our limited human perception can grasp? Margaret and the cat's journey is revealing behind-the-scenes aspects of a reality that definitively challenges our materialistic mindset. The impact of this story transcends any conventional scientific explanation because we are faced with evidence suggesting a collective intelligence operating at frequencies that our human consciousness simply cannot access. Margaret found peace. This is clear from the way the cats behaved after the plaque was installed. In some mysterious way, they knew exactly when it was time to leave, as if they had received an energetic confirmation that their mission of companionship had been completed. The transformation in our understanding of life, death, and the continuity of consciousness becomes inevitable when we confront such consistent and documented evidence. These felines demonstrated a perceptual ability far beyond the traditional five senses, suggesting that there is an energetic communication network connecting different dimensions of existence. The hidden truth behind this experience reveals that perhaps we humans are the truly limited ones in this equation. While our pets naturally navigate parallel realities, we remain trapped in a reduced version of reality, missing signals and messages that are constantly all around us. But the revelations of this story are not over yet, because there is a final aspect that will completely change your perspective on the relationship between humans and animals. Comment: they see beyond. If you also believe that our pets have access to dimensions of reality that our limited perception cannot reach. But the revelations of this story are not over yet, because there is a final aspect that will completely change your perspective on the relationship between humans and animals. If you have made it this far, it is because this journey made sense to you in some deep way. And look, this is no coincidence. People who connect with this kind of content usually have a special sensitivity to perceive that there is much more happening around us than we can see at first glance. Comment below: I'm with you until the end. If you truly absorbed this story and feel that it touched something important inside you. I want to know if you have also witnessed inexplicable behaviors from your pets, because these experiences create an amazing community of people who understand that reality goes far beyond what we have been taught. If this story gave you chills, leave a like, because this kind of reaction shows me that we are on the right path, exploring mysteries that really matter and that can transform our understanding of life, death, and consciousness. When you like the video, you are telling me that you want more content like this, and that makes all the difference in my decision about which cases to investigate next. And if you want to continue on this journey of discoveries, subscribe to the channel, because I dedicate my research to finding real cases like Margaret's, stories that challenge our mindset and reveal behind the scenes of a reality much more fascinating than we imagine. There is a video here on the side that complements this subject, about a dog that kept waiting for its owner at a train station for more than 10 years, even after his death. Click and continue with me over there, because these connections between humans and animals hold secrets that will surprise you even more.